Well, hello, YouTube. I am back. First of all, I want to apologize for being gone to all these awesome subscribers who has been emailing me or texting me and asking, hey, when is my next video going to be up? Because they've got so inspired, which is great. It's the whole purpose of this thing. But I want to let you know personally what happened. So 3 weeks ago on Monday, I got into a car accident, which pretty much caused me to go to the hospital for a checkup. Nothing crazy, but I'm fine. I'm still alive. I'm still on this journey, still going in. But it caused me to kind of sideline for a second because, according to doctors, I couldn't move like that. Got my shoulder messed up and back just a little bit. So they told me to stay put for a second, which I hate because I'm on this awesome journey. I got people to show what's going on, and I got, if you want to say fans. But, it all worked out for the better. It helped me to become really, really, really aware of what I need to eat, how I need to conduct myself, like on a daily basis, which brought me to a couple topics. So before I get into all of that, I do want to say thank you again for your patience and allowing me to get better. As you can see, I'm back on my walks and back kind of working out. But the main thing I want you to do right now is subscribe if you haven't already. Tell your friends, like, share, because we are on a difficult journey that is pretty hard to do by yourself. So help me out. The thing that this thing taught me, being in an accident and kind of getting a little sidelined, doctor's orders, it really caused me to look at nutrition a little bit more than what I've been looking into it, especially the last few months or so. Making sure that I'm eating the right stuff and not just stuff. Like, for example, I would say I might have eaten in the last few months, maybe some, even if you wouldn't want to call it vegan stuff or whatever, or healthy foods. And then I look at, the actual nutrients in it. Nah. All the time it wasn't there. So it might have been fulfilling, but no real nutrients, no real substance for my body to actually use for fuel. And that's another thing that kind of got me thinking. You have to eat for fuel instead of just eating to eat because it tastes good. I was looking at a comedy guy the other day, I can't remember his name, but he really kind of brought that around to me. Like, chicken, fried chicken, in most of our black households is going to taste wonderful. It tastes good, smell good. We know that. Fried chicken, as far as bodily fuel, it ain't gonna do much. It's gonna taste good, but as far as nutrients that we can take from it, not all that good, because it got all the saturated fat and all that stuff coming from the grease and skin and all this other stuff. So so it really made me look into nutritional facts. A lot of these products out here have nutritional facts. A lot of us don't know how to read it. So I kind of want to get into that and help us together go over it. While I go over it, leave questions, comments, concerns, maybe some input below, and we'll be sure to talk about it, because I want us all to be making sure that we are all nutrient efficient and not just taking calories in. Also, I wanted to go over just the daily walk. Being sidelined for the last 3 weeks, of course, not only helped me focus on the actual nutrients that I'm getting myself, but just making sure that every day is a goal for another day. Like, don't live for tomorrow, because tomorrow is definitely today, just a few hours from now. So, which is crazy, because I was looking at a pastor the other day, his YouTube video, and he pretty much said the same thing what I always think about. We may go and say, hey, how did y'all let me get this fat? I was, 195 2 years ago, and now I'm 250. I didn't see this coming. It's because every day you lost the challenge for yourself. One day you was like, I'm gonna eat this burger. You didn't think about it. Next day, I'm gonna get this bag of potato chips. You didn't think about it. And days and days and days appear on top of that. And next thing you know, you're 250 pounds. I'm not saying you can't indulge every now and again, because just a couple weeks ago, I just had some chicken wings. But you have to make that a goal and not a priority every day to eat chicken wings or having a hamburger. So, we have to fight hard to get back to where we need to be. It's really, really easy to put on weight, but taking it off and keeping it off is a different story, because you have to think about diets and lifestyle changes and almost force feeding yourself to become different. The human body, mind, isn't structured for uncomfortability. We like to be comfortable. What's comfortable is going to McDonald's right down the street, or cooking a delicious meal that we came up on, having greens and fried chicken and red rice and blah, 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 blah. It's comfortable because that's what we know. What can we change and then make that comfortability? That's the key to being great at your journey. So I want to go through a couple nutrition labels. Some people may not know what they are. Some people see it, never read it. But they are pretty telling in how many nutrients is in something, or whether, something, I guess, is good nutrient wise, or something is just calories. I think these things are really helpful in kind of just knowing what we need to kind of look for. So if you look at the top of a nutrition fact, on the back of pretty much anything that's sold in a store, you pretty much will see the size or the serving size. And sorry if I'm gazing down, because I'm actually looking at one. So the serving size of one will pretty much tell you, like 6, 12, 18 servings per container, or something may say a half an ounce is a serving. So you got to kind of really look into that. You know, you might think a whole bag of potato chips, that might be your serving, but technically 10 of those potato chips out of the 30 that's in there is a serving. So if you think about you eating a potato chip, you eat a whole bag, you now have to times 3 or 4 pretty much the serving size. So you'd be like, oh, well, it ain't but 150 calories, I'm good. All right, if you eat the whole bag, now it's like 600 or 700. That's a meal, and you can't get that back. I mean, yes, you can work it off, do this other stuff, but it's not nutrient dense towards you. It doesn't do anything for you. So you got to pay attention to the serving size. The second one, you got to look at calories. How many calories? Like I said earlier, how many calories per serving? Of course, that can kind of, if you count calories or count macros, you know, macros kind of looks at the saturated fats and proteins and carbs. Excuse me, but more calories is, you know, people who count calories can't have, you know, say a regular serving or calorie count for average man, they say is about 2,000. So 2,000 calories per day. If you had a whole bag of potato chips and the calorie count was 150 per 10 chips and there's 30 chips in there, now you have to times 3. That's like 600 or 700. Now 2,000 minus 700, now you can only eat, you know, 1,300 calories left. That's pretty much a meal and a snack. And you're gonna be hungry the rest of the day. Most people anyway. So you gotta pay attention to that. Then you gotta limit your certain nutrients, like your saturated fats. You don't want any trans fat. So those things are pretty much the fat that stays hard in like open weather. If it's just sitting on your counter, matter of fact, if you grew up like me, you had the Crisco on the counter in a big jug or can, and it just that got hard, or you got gravy, whatever, on the stove and the heat isn't on and it turned hard, or you put it in the refrigerator and you go take it out to eat it, and you pretty much got to dig through a layer of fat to get to the meat or actual sauce, saturated fat or trans fat. You want to try to limit those things. So you want to also kind of get enough of the beneficial nutrients, all pretty much the vitamins. The main thing is limiting the fats. And if you track macros, you know, knowing how many proteins or how much protein you should have throughout a day, or how much fat. I mean, fats, some fats are good, but some fats are, of course, totally bad for you. I used to think, and I don't have any kind of, you know, scientific knowledge about it, but I used to think, oh man, if I eat this fat off this rib, this fat is just going right through me or right in me. That's not necessarily true, but at the same time, it's really not good for you. Your body can't break it down, and what it does break down, you pretty much have you going through your bloodstream, clogging up arteries, clogging up systems, and later on in life, now you have health problems. So us as guys and ladies on these journeys, we got to make sure that we're eating the right things, eating things that are nutrient dense and not calorie dense is gonna be the best thing for all of us. The extra calories pack pounds. If you want to lose weight, like how I'm doing, or how most people do, without having to take pills or doing all this other crazy stuff, or like me, I'm having to be sitting on my couch or just having to walk for the next 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, because I can't do any kind of heavy stuff because of this accident. I'm having to really make sure I'm getting all my nutrients, but not all the calories, because I want to still stay in a deficit. Basically, not having an excess of calories minus what I'm burning. So I need to make sure I'm still burning, and there are foods that help, burn calories or extra calories. And so I'm just trying to continue to do that, and make sure that I'm making a daily walk. Like I said, I was watching this pastor earlier, and being a steward over my fitness life, of course, steward over everything, but we can get into that another day. But right now, we're talking about fitness and wellness. So being a steward over my daily life when it comes to nutrition, when it comes to working out, when it comes to even just getting over these hunger pains for anything that's really bad for me. I put a post out a couple weeks ago about this whole sweets and cakes and cupcakes type stuff. They taste good, they smell good when they're nice and hot, and these great donuts and all blah blah blah. But do they do anything for you? Are they your fuel? No. So let's be mindful. I want to make sure I'm on point. I'm going to share what I know. I'm going to help as much as you can help me, because we're together. So no more. Enjoy your week. Comment below. Subscribe, tell friends, please tell your friends. Anybody who may benefit from this, let them know. We are together, we're Chiz Fit, and we doing our thing. We going A to I, big time, even when the car let me down. One last thing though, I gotta shout out my homie, Sean Erskine. I think his handle is Baby Grand Productions. I'll make sure I put in the bio or the link to his page. I want you guys to follow him, buy his music. Any rappers, any singers, anybody who needs some music, contact this guy. He's amazing. So if you like what you hear in the background, it's all him. Check him out. He's awesome.